Hi guys, what is up? It's your girl Karen, aka cakedbybabyk, and welcome back to my channel. We are barefaced today because we were talking all about skincare, and I thought it would be fun to demonstrate some of the products on camera. This is episode number 5, I believe, of my Sephora sale recommendation series. This category has been highly requested, probably because with makeup you can kind of tell instantaneously if you like a product or not, but with skincare you have to use it for longer periods of time to see the results. Plus, skincare tends to be pricier, and with this sale people naturally are going to be more curious about the higher ticketed items. Before we start, I want to say that skincare is so subjective, even more so than makeup or hair care or body care. So take what I say with a grain of salt. I absolutely love these products, but they are not for everybody. Everyone's skin type is so different. I personally have oily combination skin, so I'm going to be talking about products that cater more to that. If I think they work for more than one skin type, I will definitely note that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. You may notice I'm looking a little bit dull, a little bit flat, and that's because I don't have a lick of skincare on my face. I just washed my face though, and I use the Glow Recipe Avocado Face Wash. The full name is the Glow Recipe Avocado Ceramide Moisture Barrier Cleanser. I'm not calling her by her government name, it's just the Glow Recipe Avocado Face Wash. Now, as you can see, I have multiples. This one's empty. This one is currently in my shower. She's almost empty, and I already have a backup. Okay, and just to show she's not an empty box, okay, we have 3. If you have been watching me for a long time, especially on Instagram or TikTok specifically, because I do my empties videos on there, then you'll know how deep my love for this face wash freaking runs. At this point, I've probably used up 6 or 7 tubes of it, and I recently got Nate to use this too. If you don't know, Nate is my fiance, and he has very sensitive and eczema prone skin. Unlike the rest of Glow Recipe's line, this one doesn't necessarily have a super strong fragrance to it. The texture is so interesting because once you squeeze it right out of the tube, it just seems like a normal face wash, but the more you lather and the more you work it into your skin, the more plush it gets. And I've said this time and time again, but it feels like you're washing your face with a cloud. It emulsifies and it gets fluffy so well. It's truly a sensorial experience for me. She doesn't leave your skin stripped. Like, even right now after I've used this and I don't have a lick of skincare on, my face still feels pretty normal. It doesn't feel tight. This also has ceramides, which is great for a healthy moisture barrier. It's hydrating and it's soothing, but it's not so hydrating to where my oily face doesn't feel clean. Bagel break. Anyways, as I was saying, I clearly love this face wash. It is one of my absolute favorites. It's only $28, and I know that may seem like a higher price tag, but when you're in Sephora, $28 for a face wash is honestly not that pricey if you compare it to all the face washes that they sell. And also the fact that this is 5 fluid ounces. Like, this is a hefty tube. This lasts me a pretty long time. I just go through it faster now because Nate is also using it. So originally it's $28, and then you're getting percentage off from the sale. I'm telling y'all. I'm gonna stop talking about her because if I keep going, you guys are gonna get annoyed with me. But now let's talk about her. This one is the Glow Recipe Avocado Ceramide Recovery Serum. Now, she's a little bit pricier at $45, but she is so worth it. If my skin is ever acting up, if I have a rash, if I have inflammation, if I have redness, this is my go-to girl. I've gone through probably 4 or 5 of these. This is a travel staple. When I travel, my skin is always out of whack, and this always brings it back to its foundation point. You know, we already have a refill, okay? And to show you that it's not an empty box, I'm gonna put this on one side of my face so you guys can just see how it looks. Similar to the face wash, this has ceramide, so it's going to be ultra hydrating, but it's also gonna be very calming on the skin. I cannot tell you guys how many times this serum has absolutely saved my face. This is before with nothing on my face, and then this is with the serum, so there's a little bit of a glow there. And similar to the face wash, there isn't a heavy fragrance. Circle around because I'm gonna tell you some stories, okay? It's story time, class. Sit down. Once upon a time, I got a chemical peel. And while I did like the results of the chemical peel, the aftermath of it was not the most linear healing process. As you can imagine, there's a lot of aftercare that goes into doing a chemical peel, and I was following their instructions to the T. I was using the skincare they gave me, and I was following all the directions. My skin, though, it just felt really tight and itchy, and something did not feel right. And at that point, I had already loved this serum, but I decided to use this serum on my face after the chemical peel, and solely this product, nothing else. My face was fine in like 2 days. Another time was when I was trying the Rem Beauty foundation, and it didn't break me out. It left me in a really weird rash where it was super itchy. It was very, very bumpy. It wasn't acne per se, but it just was more so of a rash. Super uncomfortable. It was red, it was blotchy, it was itchy, and again, used this on my face and it cleared her right on up. It was fine the next morning. A similar rash popped up the night before we were supposed to do our video shoot for our invitations, and again, used this serum the next morning. It was cleared right on up. So with these two products, I am confident in saying that I think they work for all skin types. I have put a lot of people onto the face wash, and I have put a lot of people onto this serum, so I'm putting y'all on. If you have not tried them, now is the perfect time to stock up during the sale. Now y'all are gonna hate me for this next one, and I partially hate myself too for even recommending a serum that has such a high price tag, but I simply cannot stop. When I first used this serum, the floodgates were opened, and I fear that I opened Pandora's box as well, and I can't close it. I can't go back. This is another product that if you have been watching me for a long time, you'll know how many empties that I've gone through. You'll know how much I freaking love this serum. This is like a jack of all trades type of serum in my opinion. And even though it's empty, don't worry, because again, y'all seeing a pattern? Y'all seeing a pattern. I ride really hard for the skincare products that I truly, truly love. The Caudalie Vino Perfect, she's $82.
Bruh.
I'm sorry. She is a vitamin C alternative, very, very brightening. She'll target your dark spots. She'll even out your skin tone. She will hydrate the heck out of your face. This one is a little bit glowier than the Glow Recipe one. Has a more runny consistency, as you could tell with the dropper on my face. This is the Glow Recipe side, and then this is the Caudalie Vino Perfect side. I have said this time and time again, I go through this like water, which is very, very unfortunate because she is very, very expensive, but what better time to splurge on expensive skincare than during the Sephora sale? I have put so many of my friends onto this specific serum, and all of them say the same thing, that they can notice a visible difference after the first use, whether it's just plumping and hydration or just feeling good in your skin. Definitely more hydrating than the Glow Recipe serum that I just mentioned, but it still feels very, very lightweight. It is not greasy at all. My skin drinks this up like water. These are my top 2 serums of all time. It has been that way for years, and I know leading up to my wedding day, these two are gonna be the serums that I rotate through for like the month or 2 ahead of my wedding to make sure my skin is looking perfect the day of. The third serum I'm recommending is also a little bit more on the pricier side, but she's cheaper than the Caudalie Vino Perfect. That is the Dew Deliverance Serum. This is what she looks like. Unfortunately, I don't have her in my hands right now, but I will be picking one up during the sale. I've gone through 2 bottles already, and this serum, there's just something about it, the way that it pumps and the way that it feels on the skin, like everything is just such an experience with this specific serum. Satisfying is the only way to describe how using this feels. When it comes down to the texture, it's a little bit more viscous than the Caudalie Vino Perfect. It does come in a pump, so I would say the consistency is more similar to the Glow Recipe serum that I mentioned, but it is a little bit more dense. That one absorbs into the skin so well. I mean, all these serums do, but that one is just, I don't even have it in my hands, and I can think about how it feels on my face. What's interesting about the Dew Deliverance Serum is that it has 1% encapsulated cannabinoid complex, which is not an ingredient that I see often, and I think it's why it's so unique and one of a kind. On Dew's website, it says it's a proprietary clinically studied dose. I love Dew skincare. I feel like they are a severely underrated brand at Sephora. I'm gonna talk about another one of their products later on, so keep her in your mind. Let's talk about a mask for a second. This one is the Caudalie Instant Detox Mask. If you are an OG, specifically from Instagram, you'll know how much I freaking love this mask, okay? This mask has the main ingredient of kaolin clay, which is going to suck up all the dirt and oil and gunk from your pores. If you're familiar with Mental Health Mask Monday, or before that, just Mask Monday, you'll know and you'll see just how much this will leach out from my nose. Every time my skin is feeling congested, I'll put this on, and even when I'm upset and I need to pick me up, I'll put this on. There is just something so comforting about taking care of your skin when you're feeling down, because it's just a small act that you can do for yourself. And I truly, truly, truly believe with my whole freaking chest that this contributes greatly to improving my mental health. That is such a drastic thing to say, but it is so true. Now, obviously a mask isn't something that you use every day. This one retails for $42, and I have yet to finish a second tube of this, even though I use it pretty frequently, so it lasts a long time. I think that's where I can justify the price tag for this one. All right, let's move on to moisturizers. I have two. The one that I'm currently using is the Tatcha Water Cream. Originally, I was not going to put this in this video because moisturizers is just another category that I'm kind of whatever about. I mainly focus on serums and treatments when it comes to skincare more than anything. Moisturizers, I feel like, are just an added step that I have to do, not that I want to do, if that makes sense. But with this moisturizer, I look forward to using her, which is a huge, huge sign of whether or not I think a moisturizer is good. As you see, it comes with a little spatula so you don't have to dip your fingers into the tub. Now, this one specifically is catered to oily and oily combination skin. It's a very, very lightweight moisturizer. I love this during the summer months where my face can't take too much hydration. Otherwise, it'll start to feel super oily and my face will just feel greasy after a few hours. The texture of this is so nice. It is very, very lightweight. It's not going to give you too much of a glow. I'll also blend out the rest on my hands so you can see a little bit better. If you want more of a glow and you have more dry skin, definitely would recommend the Tatcha Dewy Cream instead. This is what it looks like on the back of my hand, and I don't have anything on this hand for reference, so you can kind of tell a very, very slight difference. Listen, I originally was not going to put this moisturizer in this video, but every night I look forward to putting her on. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna put her in the video. She said I was supposed to be in the video. And if you're familiar with Tatcha, you'll know that they are a luxury brand. The price tags are pretty high. This one retails for $72. If I was recommending something on the daily, not during the Sephora sale, I probably would still recommend this, but I feel more confident recommending this during the sale because I know you can get money off. Moisturizer number 2 is going to be catered more towards my dry skin girlies. Although, as an oily skin girly, I love this during the winter months, especially at nighttime. This is the Dew Instant Angel Moisturizer. Let's add her to the skin, shall we? Right off the bat, immediate glow. Immediate glow. This is the Tatcha side, and then this is the Dew side. This is the 50 milliliter one, which retails for about $40. You can get the 100 milliliter one, and that one retails for $72, I believe. Oh, my bad, $78. It hasn't even been a few minutes yet, and this has fully absorbed into the skin, which is why I love it so much even as an oily girly. Dew Skin actually has a lighter, more gel type moisturizer that I thought that I would really like, but I actually like this one better. The hydration with this one is just so unmatched. It has ceramides, it has lipids, it has a lot of complexes that I believe are unique to Dew. You know how when you apply a moisturizer and it's a little bit too heavy for your skin, it doesn't fully absorb, it just kind of sits on top of your face? That does not happen with her. She's fully absorbed and she's still giving the glow. My face feels so nice whenever I use this, and now I'm just like, maybe I can use this during the day because I mainly was just using this at night. Right now, I'm currently still using the Tatcha at night because some days it is still pretty hot in California, but it has started to cool down. Like the last few days, I have woken up in the middle of the night because I've been cold. So that is signaling to me to switch moisturizers. I'm going to be switching over to her at night again. Dew is also one of those brands that is so transparent with their consumers on how they formulate, why they put it in specific packaging. I love watching Charlotte's TikToks, and if you guys aren't familiar with Charlotte, she is one of the founders of Dew Skin, and I have learned so much from her. I love when founders get on social media and talk their shit, honestly. It gives a really unique insight to the brand, and if you have not followed her, I very highly encourage you to do so because you'll learn a lot about the brand and why they do specific things, why they price things at where they're priced at. And that to me justifies the high price tags a little bit more. Again, this specific size retails for $40 and she does last me a long time because again, I have oily combination skin. If you have dry skin, I would imagine that you go through this a little bit quicker, but she is so good, so underrated. I am waiting for the day that Dew just blows up even more. Seriously, so good, as you can tell, because I have not stopped talking about them for the last few minutes. All right, now let's get into SPFs. I have two options. One of them should come at no surprise to anyone who is familiar with me, anyone who knows me in real life. Y'all know that I'm a Coola stan through and through. This is the Classic Face Sunscreen. Now, this is a chemical SPF, so you don't have to worry about a white cast. I actually like to use this in the mornings in place of a moisturizer because that is just how nourishing it is. Oh my god, not at farting. Obviously on a regular day, I would put more to get the sun protection factor, but just for the sake of today's video, we are going to do a smaller dosage because we're only doing half of the face, but you can just see how beautiful of a glow that leaves. This truly feels like a moisturizer and not an SPF. Again, if you watch my empties videos, you'll know how many I have gone through. The number is out there. I can't even keep count of how many I have used. But as you guys have seen, we've layered the more lightweight products on this side and it just amped up the glow so much. Like just look at that area, and makeup applies on top of this so well. It also is SPF 50, which I think is really high for a facial SPF. Usually I feel like the highest I've seen is like 30 something, maybe 40, but the fact that this is 50 is kind of insane. This one is $32 and is cheaper than the other option I'm about to give you. This is the Summer Fridays Mineral SPF. Definitely a runnier texture, but this is one of the only mineral SPF formulas that I am absolutely truly in love with. We're gonna do this side. Again, I would put more on a regular day, but since we're only doing half the face, we're just doing one stripe. Now, once you're rubbing this in, you may notice a slight white cast, but the more you work it into the skin, the more it disappears. Now, the glow is pretty much the same. Maybe the Summer Fridays one is a little bit glowier, but it still needs to dry down a bit. Now, with this one, I mentioned I don't have to use a moisturizer underneath. This is just my moisturizer in the morning. However, with the Summer Fridays one, I do have to layer it on top of a moisturizer because it's not hydrating enough for my skin, which I know sounds silly because I have constantly said I have oily combination skin, but I cannot wear this alone. I have to have a moisturizer underneath. But just look at that effect. It almost has that glass skin look that everyone has been trying to achieve. And as you can see, no white cast, no pilling from either of these. I know that's a big issue with SPFs, particularly mineral SPFs, but not a pill in sight. This one retails for $36. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that yet. So definitely not the most expensive product that I'm recommending today, but still, it's not like it's affordable. Also for the Coola, I already have a backup. This one is not empty by any means, but I'm just showing y'all. I keep that thing on me. And the last two things I want to talk about are cleansing balms and oils, and I unfortunately don't have them with me right now. The first one is the Dermalogica Pre-Cleanse Oil. That one retails for $49, and you do get a pretty hefty jug of it, I would say. That one is a very thin oil, and if you are someone who just doesn't like water or oil running down their hands when they're doing their skincare, that one might not be for you because that one is very, very runny because it is so thin. However, a little bit goes a really long way. I was using a travel size that was about yay big. I just mentioned it in my recent empties video. I believe that one's on YouTube, so I'll link that one down below. I had taken that one on so many trips because it was in my travel bag, and towards the end, I kept on shaking it, just wanting it to finish because I was like, this is such a tiny tube and I have not finished this yet. I'm taking this on multiple trips. This little bottle has been around the world, literally around the world, and it took me forever to get to the bottom of it. So I just know the full size, even though she's pricey, she's gonna last you a really long time. And because it's a thinner consistency, that one is going to emulsify really quickly, really well, really easily. With that one, you get a splash of water and it's creamy, it's emulsifying. Now my second pick is actually a cleansing balm. It's the Elemis Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm. That one is a thickums. If you are into rich, creamy textures that you like to work into your skin, I definitely recommend that one. It is $69, so it's more expensive than the Dermalogica Pre-Cleanse. However, the tubs of them are really, really big, and it takes me personally a long time to get through a whole tub. That one has a lot of different scents, but they're all pretty strong from what I can remember, so keep that in mind if you're sensitive to scents. And because that one is so thick, it does take a little bit longer and a little bit more elbow grease to emulsify it off of your face, but regardless, it is still a really nice cleansing balm. I would say she's actually a mix between an oil and a balm. Most balms have that really airy, fluffy consistency, but that is not the Elemis one because the Elemis one is thick. I personally have gone through, I think, 2 tubs of that one, and I can't remember my ratings on them from my empties videos. I believe I might have rated it like a 4 out of 5, but now that I'm not consistently using her, I kind of miss her. So that's why she's in this video, and I will definitely be picking one up during the Sephora sale myself. I know that there were a few categories that I didn't touch on, like toners, mists, and eye creams. I mentioned this in my first installment, but if you guys don't hear me talk about a specific category, it means that there's not really a big standout for me to recommend. I don't want to recommend things for the sake of recommending them. I want to recommend them because I truly, truly love and believe in the product. So just a reminder, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. The next one is going to be body care and hair care. Maybe fragrance will be wrapped up into one, or maybe that'll have its own separate video. I have no idea, but either way, we're coming towards the end of this series. I've been pumping these videos out like crazy, and I really hope that you guys are enjoying them. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good, and I will see you guys in my next one.